Welcome to the Industry Insider, brought to you by PromoCorner. Each week, promotional product professionals Meg Erber, Jeff Franklin, and Stephen McFadden, along with special guests, will discuss industry news, trends, and events with a focus on educating the promotional products industry. The Industry Insider, the nerdy news you need to know.
Welcome back to yet another exciting episode of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and I'm joined today by three other lovely folks. But of course, before we get to them, we got to tell you about our fine sponsors for this episode, our good friends over at the Brentwood line. They specialize in chairs, coolers, backpacks, and blankets. Well-respected supplier known not only for their high-quality products, but also for their customer service. Brentwood Line values and appreciates its customers to the greatest extent, and they want to make sure that your expectations are met. So be sure to head over to brentwoodline.com and check them out. Check out the latest and greatest products for all your outdoor needs. Tell them the Industry Insider sent you. Why don't we say hello to Meg Erber. Meg, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'll just give it an okay. I'm actually dealing with a little bit of vertigo left over because, as you know, I was out last week. I went on a cruise with the family, and VJ and I realized that we are not cruise people. So there's that.
Was this your first cruise, though?
No, and I was also in the Navy.
No, but I mean, that doesn't count. I'm talking like cruise line. So
yeah.
I've never been on one, but I know a lot of people that go like all the time, and so maybe you just had a bad experience with that particular cruise line. But maybe Stephen will be able to report in on us on his experience just loading because he's still currently at port. But Stephen McFadden, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. We are getting ready to push away from port here pretty soon on the inaugural promo cruise. So I'm excited about that. I've been on a lot of cruises, so I hope I don't have any vertigo or anything like that. So,
do you have the ear patches, Stephen?
Exciting... What was that?
Do you have the ear patches, Stephen? Did you get them? All right. Well, I'm just going to assume that he got them.
Is that so? You ear patches? You put them in your ear or what?
You put them behind. Yeah, they helped tremendously. They did. They definitely helped out. But
is that only for people that get motion sickness?
I don't know.
Typically, car sickness, motion sickness, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, our special guest today is another one of Perfect Promotions and More. Their staff. We got Ashton with us. So this is one of Stephen's employees. Relatively new hire, haven't been around for too long. 6 months now, maybe?
Yeah, going on it.
Yeah, very cool. So our episode today, we're going to talk about industry jargon from the new person's perspective, all the acronyms and all the different weird terminology that we have. So we just want to kind of get the newcomer's perspective on how we go about describing and defining everything. But of course, before we get into the topic, Ashton, it is customary for us to give our special guest a good 3 to 4 minutes to introduce yourself and maybe tell us how you got started in the promotional products industry. So take it away.
And I would also plug that you are right in the middle of a big event this week, and I just saw you on the news. So maybe you could to plug that as well.
Oh yeah, man, that's a lot of pressure. I can do it all though. I'm ready. So let's start with number one, how I got into this industry. I just floated into it. It just kind of fell in my lap. I don't really know that there's an actual story. COVID hit. I was working for marketing for a completely different realm. And a friend called up and was like, hey, do you want to purchase an existing screen printing and embroidery business? And I was like, yeah, I have no experience in that. Of course I do. So I walked into that and I ran the whole thing. It had been in business for 30 years, collegiate licensing, whole retail line for the local university, more than I had any clue. I thought I was being creative and designing shirts, and I didn't do any of that. So then fast forward almost 2 years, I had it for almost 2 years. And Steven and Jenna, another member of Perfect Promotions and More, reached out and they were like, yo, stop doing all the small business stuff and come work for us. And I was like, deal, done, all day long. I will come do that. So that transition was super smooth and made my day-to-day life better. While I still had a little bit of understanding, my foot was in the door, I had no idea that the promotional world was as large as the promotional world is.
Yeah. I don't think anybody does. I mean, it's a $25 billion industry. It's 97% small business, and nobody knows what the hell it is that we do. So, I try to tell people I sell hats, and they think I work at Lids. That tells you all you need to know. All right. Well, look, like I said, we've got a nice industry, glossary of terminology, as well as maybe some acronyms that we'll throw at you. And I think the idea behind today's episode, and Meg or Stephen, interrupt me if I'm wrong here, but we just kind of wanted to go through a list of things and sort of test a newcomer's knowledge or insight on all the crap that we use. So Meg, Stephen, who wants to go first? How do we want to do this? We're just going to throw...
I was going to say, I think it might be helpful, think about our day-to-day, right? And if we go to, the end users, or we go into something that's new to the industry and just try to explain what we do, we can't even do it without dropping at least like a dozen industry terms. Like, we're part of, PPAI or ASI. We use ESP and to get to our products, which have price codes, which maybe we can get you EQP, it's
maybe you could sign up for CPPA or camp and get some education that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention if you're part of a regional group. I don't even know what.
Yeah, I've actually got the list. There's 27 different regionals, and they all use acronyms for the most part. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And that's actually a really great way to set it up, Stephen. So thank you. You're 100% correct. So first of all, why don't we, since Ashton, you're in North Carolina, right?
I am.
All right. Do you know what CAMP is? CAAMP.
No, and I don't know that I've even ever heard that one.
So that is the Carolinas Advertising and Marketing Professionals. That's the Carolinas Regional Association.
No, lost me on. Is this graded, by the way? Do I get a letter on this?
You do. And most likely it's going to be an F, because you got to be in the industry for
starting
30
off strong.
years
We're doing great.
Start to know any of it.
All right, I'm ready. Next one.
All right. Well, Meg, I was gonna go to you, but you keep dropping out on me. I think, Stephen, you were right. Like at the beginning of this episode, you said the guy on the cruise line has the second best internet on the whole thing.
Hey, what? Crazy. I got one, and I'll just turn it on you. Can you name me 4 decorating techniques?
There you go.
Yeah, I think I got that one.
You can do it.
So we go in embroidery and screen printing.
Easy.
Going pad printing and etching.
All right. And now, Meg, can you get 3 more?
Ooh.
Meg, can you do 3 more?
So you have DTG, DTF. Can you hear me? DTG,
laundry,
DTF, and water-based screen printing.
Oh, getting fancy.
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a delay. I'm sorry. This is a mess. This is a mess. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's as our friend Bill Petrie always says, it's a platinum level broadcast this time around. Platinum level. Yeah. And look, I'll name a couple more, Stephen. You've got
go for it.
Sublimated patches, woven patches, leather patches. You've got embossing, debossing. Tons of different liquid metal, sonic weld, rubberized PVC, tons and tons of stuff. Transfers. I don't think anybody mentioned that. What's that?
I said, like, how crazy is that? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and that's not even half of them. So yeah, it's crazy. But Ashton, good job. That's one for you.
Nailed it.
All right, Meg, why don't you give us a glossary, a term that you would like to test our friend Ashton on here and our audience?
Sounds good. So it's funny that we are actually having this conversation. So a week before I went on vacation, one of my inside girls sent me an email saying tip of the week. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it was all industry terminology. So I thought it was perfect. So I'll give you a couple of the things on here. The first one that we have was EQP. I think this is the first thing that you need to know as a new person. And I remember when I was a distributor, my boss was like, all right, call up our suppliers and ask for EQP. And I was like, I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I was just asking for EQP, not even knowing. So now I explain it, right? It's end quantity pricing, which when I was a distributor, I would tell my customers, hey, I can get you any quantity at the same price as the last column. And I don't know if that was any more confusing or not, but end quantity pricing for the promotional products industry, it's the lowest priced column of the prices offered for products. End quantity pricing is case pricing. And when a customer calls and asks for what EQP is, that's what that is here at SNS. It's our case pricing. So another one we would have MSRP. And I think most people know this. It's the manufacturer's suggested retail price, which is normally like twice the net cost customer pricing. So I think that's a really good segue into the coded pricing. Does anyone have that up and you guys want to go through that?
I don't have it up, but
or should we not?
Mostly by heart. But yeah, maybe just in case there are some,
actually, if we have
end users out there, maybe we'll skip the pricing side of things. But Ashton, one question that we can sort of segue into regarding pricing would be MOQ. What is MOQ?
Ooh, minimum order quantity.
Yeah, she got that one, boys. Yes. Got that one. All right, Steven, you got one that you want to throw at her?
And I think here's two more. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That delay,
all right, here's two big ones for you. ASI and PPAI.
No, I don't know these. I was just talking about this morning. Okay, Steven, you're going to have to back me up on this one because I know ASI means something in the real promo world, but then on our user system, ASI is another little tagline that no one else notices but me. And so now I don't know what is what and which direction I'm supposed to be going.
So there's the two umbrella organizations, so ASI and PPAI, both the Advertising Supplier Institute and the Promotional Products Association Institute, right? So they're just both the umbrellas, but we were, national, excuse me. But yeah, you were right. We have an ASI terminology that also means something different. That's not so the
It's confusing. It's like on our search engine.
Also ASI. So,
yeah.
This shows we have way too many acronyms. Yeah.
I'm interested. So what is the other ASI from? I'm assuming because you guys are part of Facilis, right? Is it on the back end of Facilis on that program?
I don't know. I don't really remember. But that's actually a great segue. All of these buying groups have a lot of their own systems, have a lot of their own terminologies that are themselves. So, like if we were to just start name dropping buying groups, those are their own unique things, like their own unique companies. And, so it's like, I don't even know that I would know half of those. I can't even name, here, you quiz me, Jeff. I don't even think I can name which part of the country some of these regionals are in just by the acronym. I would have no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, give me an acronym. I'm curious.
That could be fun. All right. So NWPMA.
NW what?
NWPMA.
The Northwestern Pennsylvania Massachusetts Alliance.
You started off right, but then the last three letters you just absolutely tanked, and I'm sure that was on purpose. It had to be.
I don't know.
What about you? What about UMAP? UMAP.
Utah, Michigan, Alaska, and Pennsylvania.
They're so close.
So close.
How about Papa?
You
How about Papa?
Papa? Yeah. What about Papa?
Yeah.
PA. The Pacific Art Studio. I don't know. Are you gonna give me the answers to any of this? I don't know.
So UMAP is the Upper Midwest Association of Promotional Products, and then PAPA is the Pennsylvania Promotional Products Association.
Oh, that one actually makes sense.
Or actually, it's Philadelphia Area Promotional Products Association. Sorry about that. because Pennsylvania
Oh, so you
actually has
don't even
two different regionals. They've got the East and the West, and the West is Trassa. So not sure. Yeah, it's the Three Rivers Advertising Specialty Association.
Ashton, what has been the hardest roadblock for you as a new person and the learning curve?
I think it is when to go where. Who to use, who not to use, who has a history, who has a better EQP offer for us, there's an unlimited amount of like, if this, then this rules for everything. And I still just feel like I'm just treading water. Hopefully I'm winging it pretty well.
I don't know. You haven't sent any of those hat orders over to Headwear yet.
That's because they told me to use a different vendor.
Actually, Steven is giving those commands. I wouldn't be surprised.
Sorry, the signal's really bad on this crew.
Perfect timing.
That's a really good excuse to cut out right now. Yeah. All right, Meg, let's go with something else. We got some other terms or acronyms that we want to throw at Ashton.
Yeah. What about API and EDI, which is really big, I think, right now, especially with all the data integration?
Is this for me?
Yeah, I definitely don't know it, so it's got to be for you, Ashton.
What was it?
Can I
API
phone a
and
friend?
EDI?
All right, so API is Application Programming Interface, and the EDI is Electronic Data Transfer. So basically you can, I don't know how, I'm not like the electronics person, but from what I take, it's when a customer places the order, it just goes right to the supplier, and it's very easy to communicate. The computers communicate, less human interaction touching it and messing it all up. But yeah.
API is the patch that allows two softwares to communicate on the same language, essentially.
Yeah, we've ran into some API issues with Facebook in our previous life.
Can you guys hear
me? Yeah.
All right. Yep. How about types of art files?
Yeah, types of art files. That's a good one. Ooh. So AI, EPS, PDF, PNG. You know any of these, Ashton?
Know what they mean.
I do know these. These are the bane of my existence.
All right. So what's EPS stand for?
Oh, I don't know. I just know when I use them. So EPS. I don't know what that one is.
Encapsulated postscript.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah. And AI. Do you know what AI is?
Yeah, Adobe Illustrator.
Hey, there you go. So you know these. Come on.
No, that's about all. That's about as far as we get.
All right, fair enough. Let's see. What else, guys? Anything else?
I'm ready.
I mean,
come on.
No, gosh, not really. I think all the shipping stuff. I think you know.
All right, I've got one for you, Ashton. Okay, since we've got a famous TikTok star and social media advocate here, and Meg Erber, what is an NFT?
NFT. I don't know. Not for retweet. I don't know. I don't know what that one is.
I mean, it basically means just about that,
pretty much.
Non-fungible token.
Not what?
It's a non-fungible token.
Exactly.
Fungible, meaning it's no fun.
That's a whole other episode. We'll send it to you.
Do we even want to get into blockchain?
No.
No, not today.
All right. So Ashton, in your experience, just having been in the association, or well, I guess in our industry, knowingly for 6 months or so now, what are some things that you see? Obviously, now with all the acronyms and terminology and stuff like that, like, do you think any of that is super important to being able to get off the ground quicker, or like, what are some things that you've learned being a newbie in the industry?
Ooh. Okay. Yes, I think it's super important to get off the ground. I do think there's some of it that overlaps. And so investing too much time into it can be a bit of a hindrance. I don't know, for certain things like price and net, like those are the same. People use them 2 different times, but like sometimes I overthink it. I'm like, this is the same thing. They mean the same thing. And I'm just like creating more work for myself when I am not translating correctly. So yes, I think it's helpful, but I also think there just needs to be this like grace that comes with it, where you understand that some things are just going to come with time, and I'm never, ever going to, not never, right now, I'm not going to have the extensive vocabulary that the rest of you guys have.
Sure. How about like turn times? Because I know that's one thing that's very important, especially to somebody that's placing orders and things like that. So when somebody gives you like 7 to 10 days, what does that mean to you?
Sometimes I just make up turn times and hope for the best. I'm just kidding. That's not accurate, Stephen. Don't listen to that. 7 to 10. I never give the client my vendor turn time, if that makes sense. I always put a buffer in there of some degree. And then if it's better than that, then that's a point for me. And if not, we blame it on shipping still, right? Because that's a COVID thing. So
yeah, that's certainly one way to do it. But so 7 to 10 days, I mean, most people don't think of that as being business days. A lot of people think that that's just calendar days, so like a week to a week and a half. And
I do
in
explain
realistic
business
terms,
days.
Yeah, it's definitely business days. So you're talking 7 to 10 days is like 1.5 to 2 weeks, and that's from approval.
Right.
So yeah. Meg, Stephen, any other things that we want to throw at Ashton last minute here?
No, I didn't hear much, but I would say that that it is one of those things that I think learn as you get into it, and the more you're in it, the more you're around just people speaking this weird language that we've created. But it's also just about finding that bridge and how to communicate those things to educate our customers, so we can keep, I feel like every time I explain a new word, it's just another opportunity to somebody. So like, I didn't know what that meant, or I didn't understand how this works, or this type of decorating technique, or this type of production time, like you were mentioning. So they're all reasons and ways to people, but it comes with time. It's just it's not required, but it's helpful. So
yeah. Look, I always like to say that if you think you know everything in this industry, you should probably get out, because if you're not learning something new every day, then you're not doing it right.
True.
So yeah, don't ever think that you're going to be, or know it all for sure. I mean, I've been in the industry for 15, 20 years, close to it now, and I'm nowhere near anywhere towards the top. So, yeah, well, look, guys, definitely a quicker one today, which is totally fine, because I know we've got some lag and some internet and connectivity issues, some tech problems, but hey, that's part of the deal, and it's better to be brief and to power through it than to drag on and make you guys suffer through it. But look, I had fun. Ashton, hopefully you did as well. Really appreciate you coming on and joining us, and being a good sport. And Stephen, I hope you have a fantastic time on the cruise. Tell Bill and Kirby, or to Bill and Josh, that we said hi, and anybody else there that you see that we know. And stay tuned. We've got some other good episodes coming up for you guys. This one was brought to you by our good friends over at the Brentwood line. They specialize in chairs, coolers, backpacks, and blankets. They're a well-respected supplier, known not only for their high-quality product, but also for their customer service. Brentwood line values and appreciates its customers to the greatest extent, and they want to make sure that your expectations are met. So be sure to head over to brentwoodline.com to check them out, and check out all the latest and greatest products for your outdoor needs, and tell them the Industry Insider sent you. And until next time, guys, take care. We'll be seeing you.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of PromoCorner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit